So I'm going to start off talking today about this article we have from the Post Millennial. It says shocking scenes emerge from child-friendly drag show in Dallas gay bar. So this happened over the weekend in Dallas, Texas. These drag performers were performing for children, I guess, at a gay bar, and they had signs like this on the wall. Uh, and people are dressed like this. Like here's a video. So what are these kids, like 6, 7, 8, maybe younger, maybe a little older? Like you can see her ass. Great. Yeah, that's enough of that. So there's plenty of these videos. It's not just in Dallas. These performers, I guess, these parents, really, it's not so much the performers. The performers can wear, dress, do whatever they want. I don't like that they're doing it in front of kids, especially exposing the way some of them are exposing themselves around these kids. I don't agree with that, but that's for the parents. I would call this grooming, because these children shouldn't be worried about this. That they shouldn't be exposed to this at this early an age. Like I don't understand why you would be showing them this unless you want them to be more active in this area. Like, and what is this area? Like, what you want them going towards this at an early age. That's the only thing I can think of, and I would call that grooming. And it's not just in Dallas. It's I just brought up this article just as like a starting point, but I've been looking at libs of TikTok all for the past week. I don't even know if I'm allowed to show this on YouTube. Let me scroll up a little bit. I don't want to show the whole thing. But this girl is putting money inside the drawstring of this woman or whoever's waistband, and these parents over here are smiling and taking pictures. Obviously, they gave her the money to go do that, so they encouraged her to go do that. And this woman's practically naked. I think she actually is top, and like I don't think she's wearing anything on her top. So this like 6-year-old girl is just seeing that. What? Why do they need to see that? Why do these children need to see any of this? There's so many videos here from libs of TikTok. My computer is so slow. I apologize. Did it? It might have reloaded. What happened to my? It might have taken a few of them away. That's fine. Here, let me close out of this one. So we have this one. This is not a drag show. I'll go back to that one. My computer is so slow. We have Kenosha Pride. This is a youth drag show. The drag queen just deleted this post from Facebook. It says, "Are you under the age of 18?" Kenosha Pride is looking specifically for minors to dress up in drag and perform on stage with drag queens. Then it has this post here from someone who dresses up in drag, and yeah, they're talking about looking for people specifically under the age of 18 to dance on stage. And when you're talking about drag, you're talking about people that dress up in these revealing outfits. Why would you want someone who's not at the age of consent dressing up in those revealing outfits unless you're grooming them? It's really creepy. And then here's this too. We have let's see, Lake County Pride Fest. Looks like the Department of Family Services, which is supposed to protect children. So Department of Family Services is hosting a hiring event at this Pride Fest in Lake County. So there's like drag shows, activities for kids, beer tent. So there's gonna be, you can go, your parents can go get drunk. You can go look at the half naked men or women or whatever they identify as, and they'll just go enjoy themselves. They're not gonna worry about their 5 or 6, 10-year-old Who cares? Whatever, go look at that stuff. What and what else are they looking at? Go on to Twitter. I'll link Libs of TikTok's account on Twitter. She has a mega thread talking about all this stuff. It looks like uh my laptop screwed me a little bit here and got rid of some of the things I was trying to talk about here. Oh, like we have this one here. Uh, let's see. Let me just read this. I was looking for this one. On June 1st, students, parents, PTO members, and community residents from all three schools marched together to raise the Pride flag at the River Forest Village Hall in recognition of the start of Pride Month. After the flag raising ceremony, participants walked together around the Lincoln Elementary block a few times, ending at the Franklin Playground where music and ice cream trucks were waiting. The event was sponsored by Lincoln PTO Belongingness, an inclusion committee, the Willard PTO Belongingness, blah, blah, blah. So, what is going on here? So, and I just recently graduated from school, and people my age, they don't give a crap about the American flag being raised. They don't give a crap about the American flag in general. They don't say the national anthem. They have just complete disregard for the flag and the nation as a whole. And they're, I would say very selfish nowadays, but like stuff like this, where instead of teaching the kids to love their country and to want to make their country better, we're raising flags like this and celebrating this stuff. Like, why? I'm pretty sure all these kids, like, especially where I live, a lot of kids are falling behind in school and stuff like that. So instead of helping these kids, we're just confusing them more by giving them these flags. Like, what is this even supposed to mean? Like, I never even understood the rainbow, but like, what is the black, brown, blue, pink, white? Like, what is all this supposed to even mean? And then, why do they have a whole month? That's the other thing. Why do they have a whole month? Our soldiers get like a couple days out of the year. They don't get a whole month. They don't get a whole week. And if anybody deserves a month to be celebrated, it would be the soldiers that fight for your freedom to do this in the first place. But I see this as a cult, just like Tim Pool talks about all the time. I see this as a cult because, like, look at this. You're teaching these kids. You're bringing them out here to celebrate the raising of these flags, and like the meaning behind it is so confusing. It doesn't even make sense. And here's more that they're talking about books. Like, just go look at Libs of TikTok on Twitter. They have just a huge mega thread. You can see all this stuff. I can't show a lot of it on YouTube because I don't want to get banned. I'm not even sure how much I can say on here. Yeah, my computer kind of screwed me a little bit. Got rid of some of the things I was trying to show. It like reloaded it. Oh, here's this one. I don't know if I want to show this one on YouTube. I think that's enough right there. So this person, whatever it is, dances for a full minute and 50 seconds. I'm sure it's longer. I don't know if there's more people, but there's like a bunch of just like 5, 6-year-old, 8-year-old children all there. They're all handing it money, and like you can clearly see its ass, and you can see a lot. And I don't know why these parents are okay with this. How are you okay with taking your children to these things? Like, look, these are what these people dress up in. I don't even know if I could show that on YouTube. That's what these people are dressing up in. And then it brings me to Matt Walsh, because Matt Walsh shared this one. This is more pictures from the one in Dallas with the sign in the back. Look at these children. Children are just staring at that. These parents are showing this to their kids. Why? What do you have to gain from showing them this? Is there a time and a place? Yeah. Maybe. But why at this age? Like, if anything, maybe at 16 or 18, like when they're about to get ready for that stuff. But maybe by that point, they're already exploring that themselves. So why do you need to be involved? Like especially like this. This is just, I don't get it. And then, which brings me to the other thing I wanted to talk about, which hopefully my computer didn't screw me on as well, which it might have, is Matt Walsh's documentary that I just watched last night, which kind of ties into the whole theme of the video, I guess, talking about the drag and the gender stuff. These people can't even answer what gender is without saying that it's also tied into sex. Even a woman's studies professor Let me find that one first. Woman study professor. He says that I'm really uncomfortable with that language, like getting to the truth. If you keep probing, we're gonna stop the interview. You keep invoking the word truth, which is condescending and rude. And yeah, he literally said all of those things in the documentary. If you haven't seen Matt Walsh's "What Is a Woman" documentary, it's on Daily Wire. They have a 25% discount right now. I'm not sponsored, but it was a great documentary, so I'm shouting it out anyway. And yeah, these people can't answer how gender is separate from sex, because ultimately it's not, and they even say that. So I believe at some point they even say that it's a societal construct when they're talking about gender. So if it's a societal construct, why are we going off something that is so confusing and makes people so confused when we can just go off the reality of our biological sex? I don't care what you dress up as. I don't care what you like. If you want to wear makeup, I don't care how long you want to have your hair. I don't care how short you want to have your hair. I don't care if you want to have hair. I don't care. Just don't lie to me about what you are. A man can wear and dress and act however he wants, but that doesn't make him any more of a woman than he was on day one of his life. And that's just facts. You can never biologically change your sex, and that's just 100% facts. No one will change you, or no one will change your biological sex. No one will tell you. Well, some people might tell you otherwise. Some people might tell you can change it, but you can't. You can try as hard as you might to look like the opposite gender, and a lot of people are passing. I always bring up Blair White, because if no one ever told me that she was transgender, I would have just assumed that it was a woman. So, there are people like that are passing, and I frankly don't care whether or not you pass or not. Just don't tell me you're a woman or you're a man. And I'm pretty sure Blair White's pretty open about being trans, so that's fine. Like, but these people want to try and try to make it so confusing, and it's not that confusing. You just get down to the simple terms, and they can't answer what is a woman without saying someone who identifies as a woman. And they won't answer what is that, what are you identifying as. No one can answer that. And then we have this clip here from this doctor during the documentary. Oh, let me restart that, sorry.
Chicken has sex.
So, few points to bring up there. All animals have a sex. There are some animals that can reproduce on their own, which is what a real asexual is, not these people that say that they're asexual nowadays. That's not a real thing. Asexual is when a organism can reproduce by itself on its own. Humans cannot do that. So humans are not asexual in any form. Other than that, yes, animals have emotions and they have sex, and your emotions do not dictate your sex. And she just can't seem to get away from that. And she talks about some other people's truth, and stuff like that. And I forget who said it, but I think it comes down to I think it's a philosophy debate. I think that's the right wording. It's people that either believe that there is an objective truth in the world, and people that don't. There are people that believe that certain things are just objectively true, and there are people that believe that things just don't have an objective truth. And that is the two differing ideologies at this point. Either you believe things do not have an objective truth and things can vary however they want, or you believe that there is a an objective rule and there's an objective truth to reality, and the exceptions to the exceptions do not make the rule. And that's kind of where we're at in this debate at this point, because they can't answer what a woman is without saying woman in the definition. A woman is an adult human female. It is that simple. What is a female? It's someone with what's called female gametes or whatever. You have female DNA. One of the doctors in the documentary even said 99.9% of your DNA can be traced to what sex you are. So in 1,000 years, when all of us are dead and gone and we can't debate anymore, all these people that are claiming to be the opposite sex, when they're dug up for what's it called? I'm blanking on the word, but when they for archaeological reasons, when they dig up our bodies, they'll just they'll assign you the gender that you were, the sex that you were. And I did not mean to say gender, because I don't care about gender. Sex. I care about sex. What sex are you? What is your sex? That is what matters, because the societal construct of gender is just so confusing and stupid, and all these different genders can be made up on a daily basis, and it has no consistent basis in reality if you really get down to it. There's no logical basis for saying that a woman can have the parts of a man and vice versa. It doesn't make any sense. There's clearly something wrong at that point. Scott Nugent in the documentary also said we have 5 children's hospitals in the United States telling girls that they can be boys at $70,000 a pop in a surgery that has a 67% complication rate. He also talks about how 7 or 8 to 10 years after getting these surgeries is the highest suicide rates for these transgender people. So how is this gender affirming surgery causing greater depression and sadness later on in life? Maybe because it's a mental illness and delusion, and affirming these people isn't helping them. What I always liken it to, and what they liken it to in the documentary, which I thought was interesting, is people that believe that they shouldn't have an arm. There's people that believe that, you're born with 2 arms, 2 legs, but there are people that believe that they shouldn't have that extra arm, and they shouldn't have that extra foot, toe, whatever. They want to cut off a limb because they don't believe they should have it. And they liken it to that in the documentary, which I thought was an interesting interesting to liken it to, because these people are essentially mutilating them. These people are essentially mutilating themselves. I can't talk today. Mutilating themselves in order to look like something that they are not. And that's basically what these people are doing when they're cutting off their limbs. They're mutilating themselves to affirm themselves as something that they aren't, which is someone who is, limbless or whatever. But what I'm trying to get at, and what I liken it to, is people that are anorexic. Someone who's anorexic, who looks in the mirror and they thinks they're 500 pounds, but they aren't. Should we be affirming that? Or vice versa, someone who's 500 pounds and thinks that they're skinny. Should we be affirming that? I don't think either one is healthy. I don't think affirming someone as the wrong gender is healthy either. But also, ridiculing someone for things that they like is also not cool. But I think you can do both. I think you can not ridicule people for doing things that they like, while also not affirming them as something that they're not. And it's honestly just that's all you have to do. Don't affirm them as something that they're not, which is a biological sex that they can never be, but don't ridicule them for liking things that they want to like dolls, trucks, cars, dresses, suits. I don't care. What you do, whatever you want to do. Just don't tell me that you're something you're not. Don't tell me that cat is a duck. Don't tell me that duck is a cow. Things are objectively true. We have labels for things. We have language for a reason, so we can describe things and label things. And you telling me that something cannot be described, or something that cannot have a label on it unless I am that thing, is just inhuman. It's inhuman to me. We put words to things because we have language and we communicate with one another. And you telling me that we cannot put a word to something because I am not that something is unscientific, it's inhuman, and it's illogical. It doesn't make any sense, and you're clearly trying to just shut down our speech at that point, and you can't have any you don't have an argument, so you shut down the debate. That's all it is at that point. What other clips do I have here from What Is a Woman? They made a lot of really good points here. They talked about Lupron being used as puberty blockers. The same doctor I talked about in the first clip, who tried to ask if ducks cry or chickens cry or commit suicide, which, easy example is elephants. Elephants mourn the dead. Like, these animals clearly have emotions. So what is your point in saying that? Humans are animals too, but just because we have emotion doesn't mean we get to all of a sudden dictate what our sex is. That doesn't make sense. And she tries to claim, as well as a few other doctors in the documentary, they try to claim that Lupron can be used to put a pause, like in a music, or like in song. You're playing a song, you hit the pause button, and that's what you can do with puberty when you use Lupron. They hit that pause, and then whenever you want, you can just start it off again. And that's not at all how that works. Lupron is used for precocious early onset puberty in both male and female children. What is precocious early onset puberty? Precocious puberty is the term for puberty, the process in which a child develops the sexual physical features of an adult that begins much earlier than usual. The article discusses the signs, diagnosis, and treatment of precocious puberty. So this is used for children that are having puberty at the age of 5, 6, 7, 8, way too early. They can have serious health problems if they don't do this. And these people are recommending that we use this same drug on children that are healthy going through puberty, and saying that you can put a pause on it and start it again whenever you want. That has never happened ever in humanity. You cannot just put a pause on your puberty. That is not how that works. That you cannot do that. Your body grows at a certain rate. You cannot just sit there and put a pause on it. Be like, oh, never mind. I don't feel like having puberty today. Let me put a pause on it. No, that's not how that works. You put a pause on it, that's permanent. You don't get those days back. You don't get those hours back. You only have a set time in this world, and you putting pause on your puberty like that, your body's just like, oh, guess we're not doing that, and then you go on with the rest of your life, which is probably shortened now because of the side effects, which you look it up yourself. There's a huge list here, and that's what they're recommending for children. They're showing them drag shows, and they're showing them sex surgeries. That's what they're showing children nowadays. I don't give a crap what side you're on. This is horrible, and I don't really know what else to say other than go watch this documentary. This documentary was really interesting. They had a lot of really good points, and please, if you can tell me what a woman is without saying someone who identifies as a woman, please do it. Please do it in the comments. And before you ask me, what is a man? A man is an adult human male. What is a male? What is a female? A male is someone with male gametes in their DNA. You can see it in their DNA. Same thing as a woman, a female. You can see that in their DNA, that there's a biological difference in the DNA, and you can see that in 99.9% of their cells. And that's a fact. You can see it in their bones even. And there's different bone density, different bone structure, there's different height differences, and not everything's exact, obviously. There's going to be massively tall women, massively huge women, and those are exceptions to the rule, is my point. But please tell me what a woman is, other than an adult human female, because I think in reality, that's all you can define it as, and trying to define it as anything else is just a logical fallacy, and you'll walk yourself off a cliff with that debate. But yeah, I'm gonna leave it there. Go check out What Is a Woman by Matt Walsh and Daily Wire. It came out at the first of Pride Month, and you can get 25% off with, I think the code word is woman or something like that. So it's like $9 for the month. They have a bunch of other shows on there I might check out, but it's only $9 to watch the documentary. So please go check it out. has a lot of really good points that were made, a lot of really disturbing things that they talk about that these people are doing to kids. And yeah, I think I'm gonna leave the video there. And I hope you guys have a good rest of your what's today. Have a good rest of your Monday.